Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cameron, and today I'm actually stood in the orchard. Today I want to talk about potential food shortages and empty shelves. I don't. If you follow just a little bit of TV, the mainstream media, there seems to be a looming problem with the supply chain on food. I'm sure you saw the baby formula issue where they've run out. Mothers can't feed their children. I grew up with a father back in England who always had a small vegetable garden, grew tomatoes and vegetables, potatoes. He even made his own wine. And I think that rubbed off on me as I became an adult. And a few years ago, Julie and I decided that the land that we had we weren't putting it to any use whatsoever. It was barren, to be honest, with just the mature trees and then just green grass all over. So we started about 5, 6 years ago, and we planted fruit trees. We have I think 14 fruit trees. We have peaches, nectarine, apple, pear, plum. Um, we also have a ton of fig trees, and I'll show you some of the process that we do with the fruits later in the kitchen. But we also have a decent size vegetable garden, and everything's completely organic. As you get, Julie's just finishing off watering this morning. We try and get in and water it first thing in the morning. Here in North Georgia right now, it is hot as Hades. It's already 82 degrees and full humidity. But this size garden is the little black dog's performing for the camera. This size garden, it's not something that anybody can do this size. You know, we have maybe right now we've got probably 20 tomato plants, several squashes, some okra, some sugar cane, some cucumbers, watermelon, cantaloupe, summer squashes, and sweet potatoes and russet potatoes. We have strawberries all around the greenhouse, and it's it's like printing your own money, growing your own food. Food is extremely expensive. I do all the cooking in the house. Julie's a good cook, however, I thoroughly enjoy cooking, and Julie not so much. And because I do all the cooking, a lot of the time I do all the shopping. So I'm abreast of how expensive food is becoming. And so, I mean, and I have this conversation with people I know. They say, "Well, I live in just an apartment. I don't have any room to grow anything." Even if you don't have a balcony, if you've got a window, you can grow food. You can grow tomatoes inside. All you need is a little bit of time and more than one plant in order that they can pollinate. And you say, well, I know pollinators come into my house. Well, you can learn how to pollinate fruit yourself. It's not very difficult. Or you can you watch a YouTube video 5 minutes long, and then you know how to pollinate plants yourself. So we've got the vegetable garden, and like I said, everything's organic. And although it's nowhere near the amount of food I would like it to be, every time we go shopping down here, it doesn't cost one dime. You know, and with having the bees now producing honey, we're at the point with the honey where we can start actually to share with our friends and neighbours. But I just wanted to share, you know, we're on just short of an acre here, and I've tried to utilise the land as best I can. But I mean, it's just the thing of figs. We have so many fig trees now. We probably have 50 fig trees, And figs can be something that you can keep for a long time. You can dry them, and you can also make jams out of them. What we do with the strawberries, the blackberries, and the raspberries is we'll save them up. We'll put them straight into the freezer, and by the time we've finished the season, we'll have about 4 to 5 pounds of each of the fruits, and then we'll go ahead and we'll make jams, and we'll make a video of that when we come to that point. But getting back to today, I guess my point is, don't think, well, I'll do this tomorrow. Do it now, and even if it's only a few tomatoes that you can grow in a window, that's a few tomatoes that you don't have to buy at inflated prices right now. And if the shelves start becoming empty, then few tomatoes, you might be the only one that day to have 5 tomatoes because there's a supply chain issue and there's no tomatoes in the supermarket that day. Tomatoes are one of the easiest things to grow, very nutritious, and there's no reason why it's a lost art. Our parents' always had a vegetable garden, always grew some of their own food. We bake our own bread. We try and grow as much as we can, and like I said, every little bit counts. So give it a thought. Watch some videos. Watch our videos, and see if you can help yourself. Just take some of the stress out of going into the supermarket at a weekend and seeing the inflated prices. So hey guys, one thing I wanted to add to this video, I just showed you a picture of some of the harvesting that we've done so far this season out of the garden, but I wanted to add the fact that the blackberries at the front of the picture, they didn't actually come out of our garden. The blackberries that we planted, we only planted this season, and they're not creating fruit yet. Those blackberries in the picture came from just 15 minutes of Julie foraging. Now, for those who don't have the ability or the room to grow food at home, do a little bit of research on foraging. You'll be amazed at how many fruits and vegetables you can find just in an open wood. And like I said, those blackberries were from the wooded area that runs adjacent to the house. And I just wanted to add that if you don't have the ability to grow, do a little bit of research on foraging. Now, well, I live in the middle of a city. Well, in the middle of a city, you still have wooded areas, and you still have birds that are eating berries, and etc., and dropping them everywhere that they fly. So do a little bit of research on foraging if you can't grow, or do a little bit of research as well as growing. One of the greatest things that you'll find, and it's right there in your own garden, is dandelions. Dandelions are extremely nutritious from the flower all the way down to the root, and they can be quite medicinal as well. So when you see dandelions, don't just look at them as a weed. We've been programmed to look at some of the natural foods to be an enemy, a weed, and we've got to destroy them. So you'll see people, as soon as a dandelion comes up in the spring, going out with the Roundup and killing all the dandelions. Do a tiny little bit of research on dandelions and you'll stop killing them, and you'll start harvesting them and using them in your diet. They are very good. Do a tiny little bit of research on it, okay? I just wanted to add that to the video. I'll do you a quick tour of the orchard and the garden, and I will see you guys on the next video. If you do like our videos, please do subscribe. That's the best way to help us make these videos. Subscribe, like, leave a comment, and I will see you next time.